Hello, everybody. My name's Dion Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast. We're coming to you live from Gold Squadron Flight Club. It is Saturday morning, and we are running the Gold Squadron Gauntlet. Now, you might be wondering, what is the Gold Squadron Gauntlet? Here it is. You get a list building challenge. You're randomly assigned a faction, and you have 5 minutes to build your squad. Yes, that's how this goes. This basically is a beta test for a future weekend event that we're thinking about running here in the future, and seeing how it works. I will say the players have seemed to have a good time. Audience, it seems like you're having fun as well, which is awesome. You know, I'm just looking for different ways, creative ways to keep you guys engaged, having fun, and I know that there's a ton of people who are huge fans of list building. Also, let's get some Mrs. Gold Squadron approved in the chat for the coffee. Thank you. I love you. Hey, girl.
Gotta find those lifelines.
That's right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open up the Choose Your Champion. Let's go ahead and start. Steve, can you please read me down Samuel's lists, and then we'll go ahead and Matt, take a look at Tommy's.
Okay, cool. So Samuel has got the Imperial option, and he has brought a TIE Advanced X1, the Storm Squadron Ace, which is the Initiative 3 version of the generic. He's put Ruthless and Fire Control System on it. He then has a TIE Defender, the Onyx Squadron Ace, which again is the higher initiative generic at Initiative 4, and he's put Duke and Fire Control System on it. He then has a TIE Striker, the Planetary Sentinel with Fifth Brother, Thermal Detonators and Targeting Computer, and then has a Academy Pilot TIE Fighter.
And over on the other side, we have Tommy Adams, who's brought a Initiative 2 Blue Squadron Pilot B-Wing with passive sensors and ion torpedoes, the generic Blue Squadron Escort I-2 T-65 X-Wing, a generic Rebel Scout Hawk with the Moldy Crow title. We don't often see the title put on a generic, but again, this is a very unique format. And then his ace is the Rogue Squadron Escort, Initiative 4 E-Wing, with fire control system, proton torpedoes, and R3 Astromech, which we see coming into play almost immediately as he uses that ship chassis ability of experimental scanners to put out 2 target locks beyond range 3.
Now, here's my question for you guys. If you were playing Choose Your Champion right now, who would you be choosing?
Oh, that is rough, because Tommy Adams, who is always referred to locally as the better version of me because we always fly very similar lists, that Rebel list really, just pulls at my heartstrings. But Samuel's got my pick here, because I think the firepower and utility of the Imperial list is going to come in a little bit handy here.
I like the Rebel list. I really do. There's just something about it that just seems like there's little tricks and little things that are going to gel together. So on the face of it, I probably would be betting wrong and going Rebels, but it just feels better.
So one of the things I find interesting about Samuel's choices, on the Storm Squadron and the Black Squadron Scout, those are 2 ships I have honestly never seen on the table before in 2nd edition. And this is Samuel using some of his points to prioritize initiative. Going for the TIE X1 chassis, of course, is really, really solid. But saying, you know what, I can pay a couple extra points to get to that Initiative 3 on both of these. And, I mean, you look at the Black Squadron Scout. I mean, that is essentially kitted out similar to what you would see for a Duchess, right? But it's an Initiative 3 because you're anticipating, most ships not to be super, super high initiative, especially knowing that everybody is bringing generics. And then Tommy on his side is going, it seems more like raw efficiency, minus the E-Wing, which is just a hammer.
Exactly, and you've got a similar hammer in the Onyx Squadron Ace, throwing those 3 dice, but with juke and with its automatic evade on most every turn. It's going to be a a slugfest between those two, certainly. I do like Samuel's idea of going with the I3, like you said, because most of the Rebel generics come in at 2. So taking that faction advantage that they have there could really go out there. The price he pays is having a bit more fragile of shifts. So a very interesting choice from Tommy. Also, with passive sensors on a low initiative ship, means that one initiative B-Wing is likely to not have mods for all the shots that can be coming into it.
I think Samuel's been very aware of the fact that they are all generics, and he's deliberately picked the higher initiative generics because they become your aces.
And here we go. There's the roll for the rock. No damage. And we'll see if this Blue Squadron B-Wing ends up doing some work here. Got to watch out for those ion torpedoes. We've been talking about them a lot on the podcast. They are a 4-dice gun that can do some dangerous things, especially to that defender. It could really flip the game because of if you got a couple shots with 4 dice and you are focusing on your fire, you can end up getting rid of some of those tokens and having your other ships being able to push through some damage.
That's very true. And the chance that ion gets through, it would shut down the defender's full throttle ability. And that's an unhappy point sink right there if that happens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have Tommy has 2 4-dice attacks in his list, so he could definitely make that happen. Because if you start with the proton torpedo. Go ahead.
It's such a solid chassis, the defender, that it makes your target priority really difficult, because in some ways you want that out of the game, but in other ways you don't want to engage it because it is just so versatile and so resilient.
Absolutely. That 3 agility and 4 shields makes it really hard to get lasting damage in on it in the first couple of shots.
Now, one of the things that did get set up early on in the game, Tommy used the E-Wings experimental scanners in order to target lock really early the TIE Striker and the TIE X1. So it seems like he might not actually be prioritizing the defender right now and seeing if maybe he can get something off the board early.
And maybe predicting that, we see Samuel bringing in that Striker really quickly to hopefully close to, well, either way, it's 4 dice if he's at range 2 or range 3 here with the E-Wing. So we'll see how that turns out. That was a very aggressive move. They're choosing to just engage in the scrum really quickly here.
I like it. We got to focus there on the Striker and the X1 coming in. Probably going to set up a target lock because the X1s like their target locks. And there it is at initiative 3, locking onto that B-Wing to set up that 3rd attack die.
A 1 straight from the E-Wing, as expected. You don't want to throw that thing in the scrum too early and negate those torpedoes. But, oh, we've got a 3 bank that clears in there. The free evade coming in for the defender.
I wonder, man, I want to see where Tommy's going to shoot.
That proves wrong what I was about to say, because I was just about to say that I like the fact that he's keeping the defender back, because that's 82 points. And you can really use that later on in the game. But then he does the exact opposite of what I expected.
All right, so he's going for the Striker here.
Throwing that torpedo out there first thing. All right.
I mean, it looks like you also have a range 1 shot from the B-Wing, so it could be a good
Nice.
good opportunity. Let's see what we get here.
Oh, my.
Strikers do have a low amount of health. Converts that to a hit and then to a crit using the proton torpedo ability. Oh my God!
Deleted ship. Oh,
just
my.
Gone, erased.
Oh, first shot of the game.
Let's get some F's in the chat. We need them.
That's a first engagement.
Are we within the time to take my bet back?
We are not. All bets are final. No refunds available. Officially closing the bets. Pop.
That right there takes out the 5th brother, the thermal detonators. Those bombs could have been something interesting, but oh, there it goes.
I love thermal detonators. I
wanted to see them on the board so much.
And here's the defender striking back.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Throw that damage into the B-Wing.
Taking 3 right off the bat.
Hit crit, but that only goes to the shields on a B-Wing.
Ooh, a couple people in the Travi Bear. Oh, my points.
I promised the guys over here I would mention one of our local players, Chris, who's one of our local players. He works in the medical profession through all of this COVID nonsense. And he became a TV star last night. He was interviewed live on TV. Not all heroes wear a cape.
That's right. 1 crit, 1 focus.
Oh, good point. The chat's pointing out that Juke took the other shield off of the
Oh, you're right.
B-Wing.
Oh,
yeah.
so he didn't spend the focus.
No, he spent the focus, but he juked away the yeah. So that was all taken there. Oh, hard.
And this is a hit crit. And that
We're
was a
getting some
fearless
dice rolls
trigger.
here.
Not a fearless, a ruthless trigger there. To get the other. We just killed the B-Wing. What is happening?
Lord!
What is happening? We're just killing ships everywhere.
Ah,
These red dice are on fire.
my lord!
I
The
kill a ship.
B-Wing and the Striker both gone without firing a shot. Wow.
My goodness.
These two players said, "We have places to be."
That's right. Oh my, pop. What in the world?
I think these two players have decided that they are going to end our enjoyment as early as possible in the best possible way.
Making up for time with intensity. My gosh.
I mean, I know I have some walls to clean today, but I didn't want to clean them this badly. Jeez. Woo. Well, you know, that is, both of these players went in with the intent of popping a ship, but the reality is that if you look at the points, that Striker was worth just a little bit more than the B-Wing. The B-Wing was pretty plain, had some relatively cheap upgrades on it, but that Striker had some expensive stuff. It had especially Fifth Brother is really what pushed it over the top. If there wasn't a gunner slot on there, likely would have been in Samuel's favor, but didn't work out. I'm sure both players were not expecting to be one shot off the board. And you know, we doubted Ruthless. We were like, why would you take Ruthless in this matchup? Oh,
Absolutely.
maybe that's why.
Yeah, Ruthless did take a shield off of the Defender to use it, but it was worth it there. Someone in the chat mentions they don't like Samuel's position, and they have a good point. The Defender has some really odd choices to move for this next turn because both the Hawk and the X-Wing are possibly set up to block the 3 banks, and with Samuel moving first, I believe the E-Wing may block a 3 straight.
It's an interesting, almost joust setup here between the E-Wing and the Defender because they both like to run fast.
Ginger Wookiee.
Fiona, I want to know, why is it that my dice never roll like that?
Well, you're not trying hard enough, obviously.
I've got to roll better. I get told that all the time. Just roll better dice.
You're not practiced. You know, as a music teacher, we talk about, you know, practice is important, right? And everybody says practice makes perfect, but no, it's not true. It's perfect practice makes perfect. You're obviously not practicing the right way. That's what it comes down to.
I almost went to the dark side a few months ago when I started counting dice and working out the probabilities.
Oh,
to
gosh.
the extent that I actually rolled. I got all of my in real life dice out and rolled them 1,000 times.
No, Steve, down that way lies madness.
Oh, the maths was so much good fun. And I was really, really surprised at how close the variant actually was. They rolled like the maths actually says. Who would have guessed?
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like Tommy is actually first player here, and he takes the E-Wing out of the way, which gives the defender a clear shot forward, putting it, however, at range 1 of both the Hawk and the X-Wing. So that's going to be 2 4-die attacks potentially coming in to that defender.
Well, oh man, I see the X1 bumped, huh?
The X1 did bump, so the defender is rolling out of the arcs. Smart for to save it, but that means that a tokenless advanced is going to probably be eating 3 shots from the E-Wing, the Hawk, and the T-65.
Yep, folks, that's what we call a kill box right there. If that is a classic example of a kill box, the bump setting it up so that Samuel had nothing he could do about it. That TIE X1 could very well die this turn. 4 dice, range 1 coming from the E-Wing. Has the lock that was set up previously using those experimental scanners. Going to go ahead and re-roll 3 of those dice.
Yeah, absolutely. You spend it here to try
Ooh, ay. Well, you know what? You were hot, and now you cold.
The dice gods give it, and the dice gods take it away.
This is one of the scenarios where it feels like had that X1 been Vader, it would have been far more resilient and far more able just to take those risks.
Mm-hmm. Range 1 into the X-Wing. Got the average roll. 2 results sitting out there.
He does have a juke hanging out, but there's a focus there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So juke takes an evade and turns it down to a focus during the modified dice step of the defender. Sorry, of the attacker, and then the defender can choose to spend the focus in order to bring that back up to an evade. All right, here's the X1. Rolling it, only 2 dice. Oh, all right. You know what? Hit crit, not bad. No, Natty's even better.
Hawks, I tell you, man.
And now the
first 2.0 ship I put on the board once they came out.
Yeah, they got so many more toys now.
Definitely in the running for most improved chassis in 2nd edition.
Got the average, only 1. And enough. Now, I'm sure Tommy is like, oh my goodness, how have I not done damage to this ship? He did set up a kill box. And you know what? The kill box works a lot of the time, but there is no guarantee.
All right. Looks like 4 dice with a focus coming into the advanced here.
This is looking good. This will at least do 1.
Yeah.
That's when you want to focus.
Oh, and the green mitigate that somewhat. Okay.
Takes 2 shields. Shields are down on the Storm Squadron Ace. And our Academy pilot is getting into the fray as well. 2 dice. 2 on 2.
Come on, the little boy who could.
Oh.
Denied.
Back to the Academy with you.
Laws 567 asks, so juke procs first? Yes, juke happens first, and then the person who got juked can spend a focus to nullify the ability. How did the Academy get stressed? From the debris that it hit earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, and it has not cleared it yet.
Yep.
I think that little guy is there to mostly be ruthless fuel.
True that. Die for your empire.
Chad has mentioned that the E-Wing is in an exceptionally good spot right now because you've got your behind ships. You can just crawl forward with a 1 straight and unload with everything in your arc there. However, it has both those target locks gone, so that target priority is going to be wide open here. Moving first, he's probably not going to be able to get Well, no, he can get a target lock on almost anything because he's moving before the defender here.
He's got to remember he can't target lock at range 1 though. So
true, but the other ships all move first, except for the defender.
Yes,
and if
yes.
he slow rolls, then he won't be in range 1 of the defender, I believe.
yeah, it looks that way.
Ooh. So we're going to get a TIE Fighter X-Wing face-off here.
Here we go. Classic.
It's like a hockey game. Just pair off and fight.
Gloves are off.
Now that Hawk bringing that Moldy Crow arc to bear, I'm not feeling too good if I'm that Academy pilot.
Oh, a Talon roll from the Advanced. Interesting call. As expected, the
Certainly not. They're not afraid of red maneuvers here.
Certainly not. I think the Advanced realized he wasn't going to be the target this turn, so was setting up positioning for future turns.
And he's arc dodged. He's nicely out.
Are we going to see the classic defender maneuver here of a 4K?
Get him. Get him. Yeah, it's time to get in the fight. If he wants to be real crazy, he can do the shorter K turn. I know it's crazy, but they actually do have a 2K.
They do.
It's
indeed.
red.
It looks like he is taking that, that double target lock option again.
The 2K as well is one of those moves that so few chassis actually have it. It catches you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about it.
Our dearly departed B-Wing lives and dies by it.
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron Expert taking the second target lock from the R3 Astromech, which allows you to acquire another target lock after acquiring a target lock. And there's the 4K. How could we have known?
Groundbreaking.
And reach in there. Got it.
Okay. Now here's an interesting thought. Is he going to go with that torpedo against the defender to try and strip the evade and disable juke?
That's a great question. I mean, I think you could take all three primary shots into the Academy just to get it off the board, because it's in a spot to start blocking you now.
That it is indeed.
That's its purpose, isn't it? So.
And that Hawk does not have the greatest way to get out of blocks.
It's almost like chess. You have the Academy pilot as your pawn, but if you put him in a situation where he gets across the board and does his job, he becomes so much more powerful.
And that's a good shot. One hit, 2 crits sitting out there, and there it is.
Yeah, he'll take that.
Yeah. Shields.
Both
going.
torpedoes spent early. Probably a good call from Tommy, given that the right ships are just vanishing this game.
And that was a proton torpedo, right?
It was indeed.
Yeah, which is why there was only 3 defense dice.
Oh.
Yeah, easy evade.
And now we've got our initiative 3. Looks like it's coming in at range 2 to the E-Wing.
Nothing there.
I love the E-Wing. It's just a shame they don't have any decent pilot abilities. The generics are just so good, especially in this format.
Indeed. I would go as far as to say that Experimental Scanners is better than either Corrin or Gavin's target lock.
Yeah. Agreed. Some people in the chat talking about playing in the snow. That's right.
We had a light dusting last night. It was lovely.
It is a winter wonderland.
Oh, is he going to take that range 3 shot at the defender?
I like it. I mean, the defender doesn't have any tokens. This is your best chance. Oh, he's switching targets. I don't agree with you. I guess he doesn't have any modifiers. Yeah, just going at TIE Fighter ends up being okay.
Oh, he should have another die there for range 1, I believe.
Wait,
right?
is he going? Wait. Target?
Oh, yeah, he should have had, Tommy should have had another die.
Hold on. Let me jump in there. Stop for a second.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, we just noticed.
One more.
One more die. Let's see what we get. It's the
this
one on the
right
right.
here.
It's a blank.
It's a blank.
All right.
All right.
2 dice are coming from.
So they re-rolled it.
Okay.
And now here comes the Moldy Crow trying to take care of the blocker. Spend the focus for 3. That TIE Fighter already has a Council Fire on it, and it's going to take 1 more damage. Down to 1 hull.
Will the console fire do its job here? Let's find out. No! That fire remains under control.
I see some people saying the wings are closed. The token on the table, which is what they're going by, is open. I know you guys can't see it, but it's right behind it. I'll switch to the Patreon cam here real quick. By the way, love you, patrons. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys like the awesome stuff that we've commissioned for you right there. S-Foils open. Hit crit.
Hit crit. Solid, solid. Let an evade only takes 1 shield off the T-65.
Plink. So for anybody who's just joining us, the gauntlet rules for this round were all generics. All generics, and every ship must be a different ship chassis. We called it Alphabet Soup, inspired by Alphabet Squadron. By the way, if you guys didn't see, on Wednesday, I spoiled some our Alphabet Squadron poster and card series that our patrons are going to be getting starting in... I'm revealing that like super early. I really probably shouldn't have showed you guys, but I got so excited about it, how good it looked. But there's a whole like poster series we're going to be releasing with it. We're going to be doing one for every faction where there's different ships on it. I'm really excited for it. One of our awesome artists, Wade Pache, you guys might know that name, working on those for us. He also was the artist on our recent Hollow and Covanel, as well as the Republic Assault series.
I did not know that Wade was an artist as well. He's a multi-talented individual.
It's a good guy. Yep.
Great guy.
He's actually right now, his big project that he's working on is he's writing a comic book right now, where he's doing the writing and the illustrations. He actually has, and this is hashtag not sponsored, but I'm actually a patron of his for this because he's working on creating these comic books, and it looks really, really cool. So it's like a World War II, like an alternate timeline, but like in a different world that's like semi-World War II feel. It's really cool. I'm excited about it.
I'll definitely want to check that out. Okay, so we brought our advanced in here to clear the stress.
Oh, sorry, World War I. Thank you. Biplanes. There it is.
Taking that target lock to use that ship ability.
I like the position of that X1 now. That's been 2 good turns for the X1.
Indeed, with the shields down, it doesn't want to take any more shots than it has to.
Yeah.
Looks like it will possibly only be taking a side arc shot from the Hawk this turn. Depends on where the defender goes. So the Hawk does have a target lock on the defender, who does not have a lot of options here. Good job for Tommy setting up the likely blocks.
There's a focus.
Perfect.
Nice block there.
Oh, and that is a range 1 focused shot coming in from the Hawk, and possibly even a range 1 from the X-Wing if the angles are right.
Watch out. And 2 focuses.
That's
Two damage.
All right. And
Oh,
both are going to be going through
look
there.
through.
That's half points on that T-65 X-Wing. And going at the defender, angry T-65 noises.
Oh.
Range 1. No mods though. Hey,
Hit
got over
crit
average.
trophy
Got
on.
over average.
That was so close to being perfect.
Natties,
God.
baby.
Oh.
Defender beat defending.
That's what you bring them for.
And 2 hits.
Does he spend spends the target lock and the focus for 3?
Nice.
Solid.
Gonna be pushing 2 through.
And that is half points on the defender as well.
Mm-hmm.
The lead just jumping back and forth here.
So that back to 2 point there. All right, so 66, 103 right now. Tommy Adams, favor.
Console fire does not go off.
No.
Range 1 into the E-Wing.
Oh, nice. Got 2.
See there?
E-Wing does have a focus. Spend it out.
And spends it, yep.
Easy peasy.
Now, I don't like the positioning for the Academy pilot here because there's, unless he's going to try and block something from, he's still got that stress, and the console fire could kill him at any moment, so he's not a very good blocker if that kills him.
I think he's resigned himself to the fact that the Academy pilot is just a very cheap piece that he's willing to lose.
There is, yes, but there's not a lot of spots he can get in the way here. Does he take
There's
a
not,
blue-
no, he hasn't. I mean, he could have repaired the console fire.
No, he's been
but
stressed the whole
chose
time.
not to. Yeah,
So, but here, I don't think he's got many blocking abilities.
no. He's very much just pushed on with it rather than be a little bit more conservative and pull them back, do the blue, remove the stress, repair the console fire. He's not planned for him to be around long.
Oh, much respect. As an aggressive player myself,
Yeah.
I can agree with throw red dice when you got them. Because as we've seen in this game, they don't last.
That's right.
Oh. It's an interesting thing to watch. The expendability of ships comes very much into the game.
Now, we've definitely got a full lane open for the defender to do its 4K here.
All day. You got that all day. The problem, the ship that's going to have a little bit of problem engaging here is the Storm Squadron Ace, because you can't. I mean, I guess you could turn in, but you're not going to have a target lock on anybody.
Well, he's not going to. Well, let's see. Does it too hard bump the?
100.
I don't think so.
100%. 102.
Let's see if Sam's got a big brain maneuver hiding in here somewhere. A K turn for potential future positioning?
I like that. I like that.
All right, we see it clear that stress and fix the console fire. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense at this point, I think.
And that's probably the only position you're likely to block something in.
Yeah.
Which he do.
And the X-Wing taking a turn off. I like this.
Yeah, get some repositioning in here.
He did close the wings already.
I like this from Tommy. Taking one of his more vulnerable ships out for repositioning. And linking the focus into the boost there.
And looking for a target lock.
Gets it on the tokenless Hawk. You see, oh, the sloop.
Very nice. Setting up that shot from the side. I'll tell you, sloop is such a good move. It is a very good move, especially when your opponent is maybe more used to K turns.
And with the E-Wing, is the E-Wing the only rebel ship with a sloop?
It's the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I can't think of another.
Yeah, so that's kind of an off-faction maneuver that makes it really unpredictable.
Samuel making the note of that white 4K as well with the defender. It's such a luxury to have that as white.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to take that 4-die target lock shot at the Academy there.
Ah, the Falcon. Yes, good point. The Falcon does also have a sloop.
That's right.
I mean, but does the Rebel Falcon actually have a sloop when it doesn't ever do it? Does it?
Oh, we got to die out of the box. Die out of the box.
Reroll. And they got the focus. So 2 hits. Blank and a focus.
Spend the target lock because... Yep.
Do it again. See if you can one-shot this this TIE fighter. That's going to be it.
Oh,
Pop, pop goes the TIE fighter.
Oh, insult to injury with the dice.
Too much carnage. Too much death.
And a fuel leak to top it off.
Wade snaps in the chat. Back to the Academy with you. That's accurate. 66 to 114.
I think it actually was an Academy pilot in that tie, rather than as sometimes happens that you've got a secret ace in there.
And probably, I mean, does he have any shots coming in? He does. Probably doesn't spend anything.
No, not here. Not for just the potential of 1.
And here we go. TIE X1 does have a target lock out there. Trying to look to do some damage on the Hawk. 3 dice. Oh, fire control. Dig for it.
And
there it is.
Oh, that's a bad thing for the Hawk to see.
Trip crit. Triple crit. And takes
But
2.
they'll both hit the shield.
Go through.
Yep. At least he did have those 2 shields up, so not too detrimental yet.
Yep. I love
You
my
almost
Hawk.
don't want to see those crits on the dice, do you, when you've got shields up?
Yeah, you rolled them out of the dice now. We're taking a side arc shot.
Just one out there. Probably fine, and is.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Now, Tommy's definitely got some superior positioning here. I would not be surprised to see a stop out of the Hawk, because that X1, almost with the target lock remaining there, it almost seems like he's thinking Talon roll. And a stop from the Hawk would be either a block or a perfect shot on that.
Yeah, you're right. I like the move there. Now, really quickly, I wanted to make sure to say this before we go. At the end of this round, we're going to do a couple of things. It is going to be we're going to be ending the broadcast, like I said, a little bit early today, just because we can't quite fit a game, an additional game in my budgeted time. But we are going to do a couple of giveaways, so make sure to keep me honest for those. Like we want to give away a T-shirt. We got really close to our sub goal for today. I know I didn't have it up or anything like that. We're looking for that. That 25 about. And Psych J7, are there going to be any games tomorrow? There won't be any games tomorrow, but I will be doing a IRL stream. Me talking about my experience with getting the COVID-19 vaccine and beginning our steps back to normal life.
That little pause between 19 and vaccine there had my heart skip a beat for a moment, Dion.
Sorry. That's my brain. Sorry, I can't help those. They just kind of happen. It's random pauses, random dramatic pauses.
Things like that they're so important.
Oh, what was the too hard with the Hawk here?
We did a stream a month or so ago, and one of our guys has to be tested on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
We did a COVID test on stream just to show how simple it is, and it went down really, really well, because people who don't have to do it all the time, some of them do get a little bit wary of things like that, and it's just such a simple thing. Awareness is really good.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, when I was talking to my I would tell you about 99% of the things I do, I bounce it off my wife first, because she's my best friend, and has more brain power than I have. So we think together, and we're just talking about it, and she thought it was a really great idea. Just from I know that there's some people out there who are a little hesitant, and if even one person can feel just a little bit more comfortable with getting the vaccine when it's their opportunity, then I feel like I've done my job. So that's just I know that a lot of people do listen to the channel, and at least a couple people care about my opinion or what I say. But when I look at the, COVID-19 to me is not a political issue. It is just taking care of people. So that's why I'm willing to talk about it.
Could not agree more. Glad you're doing this, Dion.
Oh, defender gets blocked.
But blocked in a space where there's no shots on him.
Yeah.
He's like, this is fine. I'll get free shots on the E-wing. Free shots. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
All right, range 2 coming into the E-wing, who's got to focus.
One crit, one blank, one focus.
Spicy trail mix.
Not coming up anything there.
Not good when you haven't got a focus.
E-wing do what E-wing do.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, and we have a range 2 bubble there. Side arc. Only one hit out there, and got the evade. Easy peasy.
I think we've been spoilt in the early rounds here.
Yeah, all the action happened early. A couple people were asking what time I'm going to be live. So my appointment is scheduled for 12:30 noon to get the vaccine. I'll probably go live and just talk a little bit about stuff. Probably starting around 10:30 as I make the drive out there. And I got a couple of things I want to try to set up. I want to try to set up I never done a text to speech thingamajiggy. Where you guys can like send messages that would be read to me as I'm going to be part of the stream. So that's my plan. We'll see if I can get that done. Worst comes to worst, and I just I talk to myself while driving, but that'd be a way for you guys to be able to talk to me while I'm driving. Worms2 asks, are you going to remember how to set up your equipment once we get back to real table play? Well, I will tell you, yes, because I have to set it up in the GSP studio, #soon. We'll have we're going to have a table set up. We're getting, we have painters coming in two weeks from now, week and a half. We have an electrician coming in as well because I have some complicated. I will tell you guys, when I explained to the electrician what I needed, he was really confused. He was like, "Wait, why would you need extra outlets in your these extra outlets, a quad outlet here in the dining room?" It's like, well, because it's not actually a dining room. It's a thing. And I was like, and it's like, but why do you need it on its own individual breaker? I was like, well, it needs to be on its own breaker because, and just trying to explain. And he was just confused. He's just like, okay, that's fine.
Could be an entire
Sounds like
DIY.
Sounds like it's a bit like the discussion I had with my wife when I was when we moved in here and I was laying the laminate floor. Why is it taking you an extra 3 days to put the trim around the laminate floor? Well, because I need that channel there for the Cat 5 cable to run round. And she's like, I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. No, it's important. Just don't worry about it.
Makes internet work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So excited about that. Also getting some networking done. Because Anyway, I'm excited for the studio. Hopefully it all works out. It's going to take a little time to get it going, but it's.
Looks like Tommy is taking the E-wing out of fray this turn to try and maybe get some repositioning going, or to block the 4K maybe.
I like the idea of blocking the 4K.
He's taking a target lock. He cannot take it on the advanced because it's in range 1, but he can take it on. There you go.
Bump. Nice.
Very much, you're going to sit behind me, that's fine, but I'm going to make sure it's that close that you can't do anything to it.
All right, he's X-Wing going into the Defender.
All right, here we go. Hit crit.
This is a nice position with the Hawk having the side arc.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, takes that
and
crit.
One of the crits going through. What do we get? Panic pilot.
Panic pilot. Oh, no.
Free evade that the Defender gets is a evade action that is gone off the table while you're stressed.
And looks like nothing coming in from the Hawk on it.
Yeah, Tommy is doing everything he's had to do to minimize the Defender here. Great blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I not bet on Rebels earlier when I said that was the way I felt?
You doubted yourself.
I guaranteed by not betting that I would be betting the wrong way, because that's the way I always go.
Indeed. I'm a Rebels man. Tommy's a friend, so I couldn't possibly bet on him because I never bet right.
That's
I now
hilarious.
actually abstain from betting all the time because I've discovered that the natural build-up of points is more than I would have by betting.
Oh,
That
that's
is true.
hilarious.
I just need to make myself a note to log into Twitch chat early and just let it ride.
Double points for being active in the chat, by the way. Alrighty, so here we go. Flipping, and the Hawks keeping the pressure on. Is facing that debris. Lovingly known as the dinosaur looking backwards debris, by the way. If you haven't seen it before, I'll give you the view that you need to see it.
Yes,
Right.
my ability to bet is
Right
the
there.
only thing which is less reliable than my ability to roll decent green dice.
Yeah, I can see it.
What counts as active? Do you know that if you ever watched The Simpsons, there's this episode where Homer realizes that he can use the little like water bird to just hit the Y button for like yes, like just all you gotta do is type something every 15 minutes to be considered active.
And emotes work as well.
Yes, they do. I'm active. That should be. You do get points for just watching, but you get a little more for interacting with me.
Okay, takes the focus into barrel roll there, choosing some violence.
And we got the K turn. I mean, that Rogue Squadron did set up that target lock already. You got mods on the Defender. Even though both proton torpedoes are out, you're gonna get a range 1 shot right now. Hello.
Yep.
Target lock range 1, 4 dice coming into 3 unmodded.
Rolling out the box.
Nope, that's 3 coming in. Spins.
Benza lock, nothing there. But I mean, you got 3. You're probably pushing at least 1 through here. Got 2.
Pushing 2 through, and that's our defender.
Defending, not defended.
Simultaneous fire, can he at least get some vengeance from the grave?
That's right. Ships that are the same initiative are not taken off the board until all the ships of that initiative have shot. So they're on the board. Any abilities get triggered, and they are still able to attack. If they have somebody in arc, they got a lock. Nothing there. Hit, crit looking at that E-Wing.
No!
And he's going to be taking hit, crit. But those
Onto
are
the
still
shield.
shields. Alrighty. TIE X1 trying to do some damage to this X-Wing. Only one. Holding on to the focus for defense. And the X-Wing holding on to the focus for offense? Question mark? Yes, he's going to take it.
You're already at half points.
Nickel City, it's our anniversary.
It looks like we got a range 2 side arc from the Hawk coming in.
Let's go get it. Can spend 1 focus. I think I would hold. I would hold on to that. I think actually.
Yeah, Moldy Crow lets you hold them, but the natty negates it.
I think he was probably trying to see if he can strip that focus token.
Hit crit.
Hit crit. Didn't need to hold on to that focus. Of course, hindsight's 20/20. And spend the focus on defense to avoid all those shenanigans. The E-Wing is out of torpedoes, so a couple people were asking about that.
Yeah, Nickel City asking what he's got for his anniversary. I'll give him an anniversary present and try not to kill him first on Monday night playing him on. I'm lying, I will.
I gave you a set of 3 helmets next to your name.
We wouldn't keep doing it to him if it wasn't for the reaction that you get out of him. Kill him first every time. Poor Greg.
Okay, this looks like a potential kill box setup for Tommy here. It just depends on where Samuel wants to go to clear that stress.
And the Rebel Scout, of course, does go over the debris, rolls for damage, only takes damage on a crit, but we're good there. All right, Dasmo also hitting 1 year today. Wow. I mean, yeah, we're coming around the time where a bunch of people kind of, a bunch of people came into the community, the online community, a little bit more actively. We're in January here.
Okay.
Things were building up. This is about LVO time a year ago.
Oh, I miss LVO. All my photos from LVO came up in my Facebook memories this past week.
Yep.
Thursday night this week is the 1 year anniversary since I played my first ever game of it.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, LVO was my first live GSP. There you go. 1 hit. Safe. These guys are playing patty cake now. Chase down that X1. You rebel scum. Samuel's giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, this is... As a player who's wound up in Samuel's position before, this is always a real tough spot because you are in a bad position, you're behind on points, and you don't have your most efficient ship on the board. But yet, it's not impossible to get out of. Looks like Tommy's gone for some aggressive blocks that Sam has just blown right through.
It's such a difficult psychological situation, though, isn't it? Because you know mathematically that it is possible, but you're just so much on the back foot and trying to pull yourself back around and get back into a situation where you're being positive and moving forward is so difficult.
And a lot of that honestly does depend on your opponent, and that's a good thing. Having played Tommy before, I know he's one of the more gracious players I've ever sat across the table from, and he's not going to try and drag this out any longer than he has to.
In some ways, though, it gets to this stage in the game where, regardless of the result, it is just fun for both players.
Oh, absolutely. You want to try and get as many punches in as you can before you go down.
You can always claim a moral victory.
There you go. If you're playing the Empire, can you, though?
Well, from a certain point of view.
Well said, well said.
Alrighty, we have some people reminiscing about LVO in the chat. Twas a great time. It was my first ever time going to a casino. I ended up very much ahead, playing blackjack. It was awesome.
That was one of the highlights. I had just come off a vacation seeing my family in California, seeing some friends in Vegas I hadn't seen for 10 years, and having literally the worst X-Wing tournament I had ever had. My worst finish ever. But it was a lot of fun. All right. We got... That little Storm Squadron is just evading everything here.
He's getting out.
Holding on for dear life.
I want to make it back to the academy. Yeah, it was a good time. I was telling Isofane in the chat. I still have cash that I won from LVO. That just because I don't ever spend cash, it's just sitting in my wallet, just hanging out there. There's nowhere I ever go that is like cash only. So, yeah.
And someone asked me how the Las Vegas Open went for me, and I think my answer was, I got to lose to so many great people.
Yeah, wait, snap. Yeah, especially this year. Exactly. I think under normal circumstances, I probably would have spent it already, just like, you know, going to the store and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I won't use my debit card here. I'll just use the cash.
Those things we don't do anymore.
Yep. I mean, my intent was to have it as like food money for my upcoming tournaments, because we had like 7 or 8 tournaments on the books coming up, you know, but of course COVID, right? So, anywho, we got the Rebellion trying to trace down this Storm Squadron ace. This has been the Gold Squadron gauntlet. There's 14 minutes left, and Samuel is making him, saying, "You need if you want to win, you got to come get it."
X-Wing as a game is so unusual, where you can have a big loss and still enjoy the game so much.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because the experience and the person that you're playing against makes so much of a difference.
Wade Snaps just remembered, and plus you were going to buy us all pizza at Adepticon. Exactly. Well, not everybody.
Oh,
it was
right.
for patrons. Yeah, we had the patron pizza party.
My Adepticon pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Stack dice, roll again. No.
Hopefully. So I know if you hadn't heard, Adepticon for this year is canceled, of course. But hopefully 2022.
Two?
All right, we'll have Adepticon, and we will have our pizza party.
I can buy my train tickets well in advance.
There you go.
And Greg Nickel City in chat, no, you are not the only person who thinks that. Spending the target lock on a range 3 unbanger rather than wait for a double tap is definitely the better option, I would say.
All right.
At this point, though, I believe they're just throwing reds and going for broke on every shot.
That's right. Just looking to squeak through anything. Just trying to see what you can get, man. So, one of the other things I wanted to talk about was so Monday night, of course, we have our podcast. Goes live at 8:30 p.m. Central. If you've never watched our podcast, come be a part of the fam. It is great to have people live in chat. They give us a lot of ideas, and it's great to have people just being a part of the conversation live. It gives us a lot of feedback and understanding on how people are enjoying the topics that we're talking about. It's been really great.
Chat reminding us that the E-Wing has fire control system, so he's not actually spending those locks.
That's right. Just re-roll 1. And Warrior Maple said time zones suck. I agree. Sometimes they definitely do. Time magic. And here's the barrel. The Storm Squadron says, I will not go quietly into the night. Let's go. And there it is.
Oh.
Samuel getting whatever satisfaction he can get out of this game. Say, this is my block. I'm going out my way.
You will live, but your paint will be scratched.
And the Blue Squadron is range 2, but he's going for the hole.
Hawk closer to death, yeah.
Yeah.
1 crit.
Spend the focus. Spend it. Choose violence.
He's doing it. Yep.
All right.
2. Hey, still got 10 minutes. The X1 can do some work.
There's a crit getting through.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a good focus, Ben.
Structural damage, -1 agility. Going to be a little easier to take out that Hawk. Only has 2 hull left, and that's half points. And we'll see what these Rebellion ships do. We still have the Hawk and the T-65 X-Wing to have shots here.
3-die attacks coming in.
Here it is. Looking for the lock here. Looking for paint. Got it. That's going to be hit, crit.
Nice.
We're
Solid dice.
expecting at least 1 evade.
Is that in the box?
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
No, that's out of the box. All
There's
right.
no cocked dice, but they can land on the rim.
Yeah.
Hit, crit, and damage engine. Down to 1. Final shot of the game? Question mark. Let's find out.
There's a range 2.
Oh, it's range 2. This is probably it. Spend the lock.
Lock.
It feels a little bad going to 2 blanks. And there it is.
Spends the focus.
The math says he's dead. We'll see what the dice say.
The dice agree.
The dice agrees. Well, congratulations, Tommy Adams, getting the W in our alphabet soup.